So, if it wasn't obvious by the disappearance, I've been MIA for a while. And that is because of some personal family bereavement. I took a couple weeks off, but because I didn't want to just completely leave you in the lurch, this video is a bit of a rush job. I have 5 recordings of games that I was planning to use for other videos, namely the Quartet RPG Maker Experience video and a review of Airships of Elandria. I'm just going to throw them all together into this. So all the games that I was planning to cover in separate videos are being covered here. Those games are Beyond the Shadows, Drowning Sorrows 3, taking another look at Conquest, Echoes of the Void, and of course Airships of Elandria. So with all that said, I'm so sorry. This one's going to be a lot shorter. I'm kind of just rushing through this video just to get something down before the bigger stuff. So let's just get started. Welcome to the super rare club of games that got 2 looks and different experience videos. The only other game at the moment is Quest of Erendia, so you're in good company. I also figured out what was needed of me to progress further on. I didn't grab the rope on the table. Yeah, laugh it up. But this game is still a delight to go through, doubly so now that I can play more of it. The game's core loop feels like a Metroidvania, first time I'm breaking that term out. Obtaining items that allow you to open new areas and obtain new items that allow you to open more new areas. That's great. The cast also has some pretty nice synergy. Peter, Captain Virgil, and Luca are the only 3 that I've actually encountered thus far, and all 3 of them gel very well together both in and out of combat. They've got some very nice synergy. These are the only 3 I've found as of now, but I think there's a few more that I've spoken to, but I need to figure out either the crypt key and the lantern for 2 of them, and then there's also the harp somewhere, I think. Was it a harp or a flute? I'm getting off topic. The game's balance, however, does feel a little bit iffy in places. It seems as if I was expected to be a little bit stronger than I could reasonably get to without stopping and grinding, which, thanks to infinite healing, it isn't too awful to grind up to, but I'm just very skittish and I'm not a fan of having to sit and grind in one place for hours, so it's a personal gripe, it all evens out. Conquest is a game that I'm definitely going to be taking a closer look at in the future season 3 because it is a really great game, and now that I actually can progress, I've been having a really great time with it. Echoes of the Void is a nice little adventure, and I actually needed to download this on MV and not the MV player because I kind of ran out of space. Don't mind that. That's a surprise tool for testing ideas, and I also am a jackrabbit and can't focus on one thing for more than like a couple weeks. So bouncing back and forward unironically makes me work harder. Echoes does something that actually really helped me get sunk into the story a lot more than a lot of the other games. Stage directions. The blue text that you can see above dialogue lines, it helps show how the character's voice is spoken, their inflection, their mood. It's really neat. I'm glad to see it, and it reminds me a lot of going back in high school, dealing with theatre scripts, because shocker, I was a theatre kid. There's also a really good system for quests here. It replaces the key items menu page with a journal, used to track all the quests main and side that you have. It's a nice idea, and it makes me really wish that the engine had a more defined way to track quests, because it is just, whew, hard to do sometimes. Both the party members I found so far, Plisk and I'm so sorry, I'm going to butcher this, Kali Yeira, are really fun characters. Plisk is an amnesiac that doesn't remember much of anything, but you know who he is and how he got there from the intro, utilizing the fourth wall to help the storytelling. The audience is in the know, the people are not. It's a really nice thing, and I like it. Kali wants to take a pilgrimage to a cave filled with monsters, and her father refuses to let her go until Plisk agrees to help, which was nice, neat, and I really like it. So, Echoes of the Void, a fun little jaunt. I'll definitely be giving another look, especially with just all the wonders that I saw in my short little jaunt. It was a fun little adventure. We're now on to the dedicated Radley section of the video. Because once again, I didn't read who created these games until I'd recorded everything. Yay!
Okay, I knew that Airships was a demo in a Radley game.
And I'm kinda proud to say that I kinda broke it somehow. I'll explain that in a bit. But firstly, Radley location design. It does it again. This is a gorgeous game on all fronts. The visuals are so undeniably Radley that I could have been tricked into thinking this was some sort of indie JRPG thing made in like Godot or Game Maker or something. Like it was really good. The consumable items, while not normally something I actually comment on, they hold consistency with Radley's other games. So another fun little flag for who dev this, even if you're like me and don't read who makes them. The characters are fun, and using the character busts instead of the portraits is such a cool change. Like, again, I feel like I'm playing an indie and not an RPG Maker game. I know indie, but whatever. It feels very professional. But the big issue I had that stopped me dead in my tracks was with combat balance. How it works in this particular fight that got me hard stuck was that whenever the prince falls in battle, because he's level 5 and your guy is level 25, a smelling salts is automatically used and the turn is skipped. What happens when you run out of smelling salts though? Game lock. Fully locked up, no progression, and unfortunately, the combat is such a little bit overtuned that I was using two smelling salts a turn, so it wasn't ideal. It's unfortunate that the lock killed any ability for me to continue playing because I was really enjoying this. Again, I know it's a demo. Whatever, I had fun. It was just a delight to see under the hood of a Radley game in progress. So while I won't be continuing it as of now, unless it gets like updated in the near future, it was still fun. I was still happy to see it, and I liked some of the dialogue. It was good. Alright, I would say that this is a roguelike, and that you all know my opinions on roguelikes. I'm not really a fan of them, blah blah blah, but honestly, this doesn't feel like a roguelike. It feels a hell of a lot more like a dungeon crawler with random loot drops. And especially considering my recent discovery of the Poker Balatro, my opinions on roguelikes have shifted a lot more positively. But honestly, there's some really fun stuff here, like the voice. The protagonist's voice being directly tied to an item is a really unique idea, but oh my god, dude, that game over sequence. Oh, that's rough. There's not really a lot else to say here. I really enjoyed my short little time in the game, and it makes perfect sense. And I'm like 80% sure that this is one of the Creature Hunter X Plus characters. And if that is, I can recognize. I can do the Leonardo DiCaprio thing where I point at the screen and whistle or whatever it was. I don't know, man. Oh, I'm not here. Good game. That's the main thing. I know, I skipped games. Crucify me later. I saw this was related to Idrika, so I played it. Gotta admit, very bold choice to have your game start with two children, where the selling point is that all the healing items are alcohol, but you magically gauged them up after like 20 minutes, so whatever. However, Radley, I want to call foul here because I've been experimenting with a very similar mechanic to your mechanic of those items, the skill crystal items, where you can give a skill from a guest character to a main party member. So at least I know the idea works. But honestly, though, I audibly screamed when I saw the port guy mention Mathis. Like, I know that guy. It's him, my wizard dude. But honestly, I'm kind of hard stuck here with zero idea what the fuck I'm meant to be doing. I saw something about like a rat man, something about a weird monster on a bridge and needing to find some dude that like welcome me into town. I don't know, man. I will figure it out though because I'm adding it to season 3, so help me God. Yeah, no, that was really all I could say about this. I loved this game, and it just felt like a natural continuation of Idrika Descending. Truly, everything I wanted in life. again, I'm like so sorry for the week and a half gap between the last video and this one with only half the games I really wanted to look at. But it's been a really hard couple weeks, and I just had to make do with the footage I had. I'll be working on Sign in Another World in the coming future, so the next one shouldn't take nearly as long. But I'm kind of double working myself by also working on a Dead by Daylight video, which has nothing to do with the main audience I have at this point, but it's an idea that's been floating around in my head for a while, so I'm gonna do it because I'm impulsive like that. Like I just said, the next video will be for Sign in Another World, and it'll be the capstone episode for season 2, now that we're not doing a solo video for Elandria anymore. So yeah, I'll see you then. Have a good rest of your day or night or whatever it is. And again, I'm so sorry for it being so long between videos. I'll try not to make it so long next time.